Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I'm living my dream of being a locutora. Okay, I have a question for you. Who are you? Who is Norby?
I'm a father. I'm a husband. And an entrepreneur trying to figure it out.
What do you value?
At this point in time, my family. My time with my family.
And that's hard. It's hard. Norby and I are polar opposites in everything.
Prior to you and I doing this podcast, I was just walking my own path, doing work, coming home, working, and everything was very separate from you. You and I sitting down, this is the first thing that you and I work on together. Prior to this, we didn't really have anything else that we were working on together besides raising kids together.
Yeah. Okay, I want to say I'm a feeler, but it doesn't mean I'm just like, oh, a crier. I am a crier, but...
I had to tell her, hey, when it comes to doing the podcast and choosing the topics, how we package that up as well. Like for me, I know who I want to consider. I know who my quote unquote audience is, right? I know the type of people that I share rooms with, but I also know you're in a whole different world. Like I don't want to just put things on blast, but like church would look at that like, oh.
Yeah.
But I'm around this stuff on the normal.
Right. I've led at church. I've been a leader for so many years, almost 10 years. We're all broken. And everyone looks at you up here because you have gifts and we see you pray and we see you preach. You're also broken, except that the only difference is that you know you're broken.
And we're well ahead of a lot of our friends who are our same age because we've been parents for 10 years already. Yeah. You know, and they're just getting started. We've been married for 10 years. And they're just getting started. And so many times we see people going through things that we've gone through years ago. And I feel like this is an opportunity to be able to share about what we've learned in those years.
We're afraid of cancel culture and we're afraid of hurting people's feelings. But I never want to be a person who pets the sin because that's not who God is.
All right, man. We're going to freestyle this one.
Let's freestyle.
You know, typically every time we film a podcast, we try to have a plan and we bump heads when we're like, yo, we can't go in there aimlessly. Well, today we're not coming in here aimlessly, but we're not coming in here with a plan. So
here's the thing. Every time we have a conversation, I'm like, we should have been filming.
Facts.
And so right now we were in the kitchen and we were just brainstorming. And we want to say so much that we don't know what to say. And we're like, let's just freestyle it.
We want to make sure these episodes are packed with value and that you guys are actually intrigued by what we're saying and that you're learning from us.
Yeah.
But then we don't want to be teachy and preachy, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Well, I have a few, actually. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I'm living my dream of being a locutora.
We should be good on the cuff anyways. Like we should be.
What do you mean?
Like freestyle.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Okay, I have a question for you. Who are you? Who is Norby?
Who am I? I'm a father. I'm a husband. And an entrepreneur trying to figure it out.
What do you value?
What do I value? At this point in time, my family, my time with my family. I think that's what I truly value.
Why do you value those things? Why not money? Why not fame? Why not status?
I mean, I want those things. But I think when I want those things, when I say I want those things, it's because I want to be able to have freedom. Or I think freedom is attached to money. Mm-hmm. You know, and I want the freedom so that I can spend time with my family. Mm-hmm. You know?
So not as like vanity.
No, not at all. I don't need to have the nice car. I don't need to have although that stuff is nice and it intrigues me and blah, blah, but it's like, no, that's not the focus. The focus is freedom and creating something for my children to be able to have in the future. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. Wow. This is why I love him. He's so sexy.
Yeah, man, we're freestyling today. Bear with us, all right?
Okay, I have a question for you.
No, I have a question for you.
Fine, go. I'm nervous. What?
What do you want this podcast to be? What do you
Right,
want?
babe, that's literally what I was going to ask you.
Okay, there you go.
Literally.
Okay.
Like, what is the purpose of this podcast for you?
Yeah, what
That's
do you...
so good. Okay, go ahead.
No, I
Ask
just
me.
asked you.
No.
You flipping
Ask
it
me
on
again. Ask me.
What's your goal with this podcast, and what do you hope that this podcast is actually doing?
Whoa. That's crazy. You guys are going to see our different personalities right now with our answers. My goal for this podcast, it's just that it would bring freedom to anybody listening to it, that it would bring clarity, that it would bring friendship to like the woman or the father listening, to know that you're not alone, to know that we're all struggling, we're all going to figure it out. Mainly that you're not alone, and hopefully it helps you to bring clarity, to bring freedom and wisdom, and I hope it helps you navigate in a sense. That's my goal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my goal. What's yours? What's your purpose of this podcast? And be honest.
Yeah. I think double-edged sword. Two things. One, that you and I, prior to you and I doing this podcast, I was just walking my own path, doing work, coming home, working, and everything was very separate from you and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You and I sitting down, this is the first thing that you and I work on together. Like, this is a project, this is a business that you and I, or whatever it is, you know, like that you and I are working on together.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to this, we didn't really have anything else that we were working on together besides raising kids together.
Yeah.
Right? And so in that sense, we've created something, and the goal is that I don't have to slave away working for clients, and that we can build things on our own, businesses. This can be one branch of whatever we end up building.
Yeah.
That can ideally finance our lives, pay for our lives, for our livelihood, for our survival, you know what I'm saying, for putting clothes on our kids' backs, for food on the table.
So you're hoping
Ideally,
that
we
this
create
brings
something.
income.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%. Hoping that this and everything that we build that's attached to this brings income.
Mm-hmm.
So that we can build something together rather than me slaving away for my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And so in one sense, this is that. But also, you know, I know that it's an opportunity to drop game and share our experiences, because I know that we're pretty young. You know, we just got into our 30s.
Yeah.
And and we're well ahead of a lot of our friends who are the same age,
Mm-hmm.
because we've been parents for 10 years already.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just
Married
getting
for 10.
started.
Yeah.
Or we've been married for 10 years and they're just getting started. And so many times we see people going through things that we've gone through years ago, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we've learned so many things since then. And I feel like this is an opportunity to be able to share with anybody and everybody who wants to tune in and listen to, you know, our experiences or what we have to say about what we've learned in those years.
Yeah.
And this is much easier than us trying to get together and have lunch with friends or people that we know individually and
my friends are gonna kill
trying
me.
to guide them. This is just much easier and manageable, especially when we still have kids. Like,
do you do this because you think that you have life all figured out?
No, heck no.
Is this why you have the audacity to sit in front of a...
Nah. And that's why I have no problem saying that, look, right now this podcast is small. We don't get that many views. And ideally,
Yet.
and ideally at some point we're getting thousands, hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
And with that, there's going to be people that criticize us. There's going to be people that say, you know, that we act like we know it all, or we act like we have a perfect life or whatever. But like, that's not what we're trying to showcase here, because it's very far from the truth.
Right.
We still are figuring it out so much. And yeah, man, we're working on it day by day. But
we had our little first mean comment, which I can handle. That
somebody commented on the last video. I don't even want to give them attention, but it was
They were
hilarious.
just like blah 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 blah.
I thought that was funny. I was like, okay, I didn't.
Yeah, that's crazy. Honestly, I feel like for myself, this feels really scary. If you follow me on Instagram, you know, I'm always like really honest, because I never want to give the vibe of like, oh, we're here because we got to figure it out. We don't. And this will be the last time I say that, because I feel like I always say it
every episode.
I say it all the time, but because it just feels scary. It feels scary. But I think one thing I keep telling the Lord, like, or yeah, like, what if on the other side of your fear is freedom for anybody, even for myself, you know? And I think that we study people, we look at inspiration, and every person who has started something starts it doing it afraid, in fear, because we don't know. If we all knew, oh, it's going to thrive, we would do it so comfortably, and we would do it knowing, oh, we're going to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know that. And you know, the only way you thrive is through consistency and doing it consistently and having a strategy and planning and blah, blah, blah. So this feels scary all the time. So for me sitting here, it's just like, we're doing it again. All right, let's try it again. But in Jesus' name, you know, and I think that it's also very humbling to be here, because life is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Life is really hard, and nothing is perfect. Like, we every single day in our marriage are practicing communication and grace and forgiveness, and also with the boys practicing the same thing: communication, grace, forgiveness. And that's hard. It's hard when everyone's world collides, because Norby and I are polar opposites in everything, which is the funniest thing ever.
We were talking just now, and we were talking about ideas for the podcast and what we want to talk about. And the way that her mind works, she thinks in a way that it's just our minds think very differently. And I think it's more than just a guy-girl thing. It's like we're just very different too with the way that we think. And
I'm a feeler, you're a thinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're so different. Yeah, you're a feeler. You get very emotional about things. And even right now, when I was telling you something, I remember I told you, like, I was like, I feel like you're interpreting what I'm telling you the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
But that also just has to do with the way that our minds work. And sometimes that leads to not understanding each other or misinterpreting.
Right.
And I mean, when you think about it, like, we've had that happen in our relationship
so much,
plenty of times.
And even that moment that we just had, he was like, I feel like you're interpreting what I said wrong, and you're making me feel low. And I was like, wait, pause. I'm like, I would never, ever, ever intentionally want to make you feel that way. Right. And even that, I think, is really important. Like, again, we're working on communication, where I always tell him, and I always tell the boys, okay, what is the real reason, right? What is the root feeling of this thought or feeling? Like, where is it coming from? You know? And so, again, our personality differences, even preferences, the way we think, because he thinks and I feel. But yeah, I think in the communication, what you were saying.
Even another thing that we're very different in is, like, I had to tell her, hey, when it comes to doing the podcast and choosing the topics and how we package that up as well, like, I want to consider certain people. Like, for me, I know who I want to consider.
Mm-hmm.
I know who my quote unquote audience is, right? That I know the type of people that I share rooms with,
followers. Mm-hmm.
and and I know the type of people I'm around and the type of people I have relationships with, and you know, primarily guys and how they are or how they think. But I also know you're in a whole different world. Like you got your church girls. I feel like that's your world.
I
Like
got my healthy friendships.
moms and church girls who are already locked in at church, but you know, maybe struggling or dealing with some challenges in their marriage. But like on my end, like it's just very different. Some
There's
people
no church.
there is no church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And actually on everything else is very normal. You know what I'm saying? Like things that are in church would be looked at as sideways, such as what? Like I don't want to just put things on blast, but like, yeah.
Well, say something.
Smoking.
Oh, you're saying that at church that would be
like
looked at
the
like
rooms
ooh.
that I'm at church.
Right.
Church would look at that like, oh.
Yeah.
But I'm around this stuff on the normal.
Right. And it's funny because we talk about how we're polar opposites, but like how our worlds collide. And yeah, it has costed me a lot, and it still costs me a lot to be around
the people I'm around.
not necessarily. because I love the people you're around. But because honestly, okay, I want to say I'm a feeler, but it doesn't mean I'm just like, oh, a crier. I am a crier, but but like I can just feel, I don't know, I think it's discernment. I think that it's a gift God has gifted me with, because I'm a praying woman, so I can feel people, and I know it helps me when I feel your feeling, I can pray better for you. So that's why I think I have that gift. So this means, with this being said, when I'm in certain rooms and certain places, I can feel that heftiness, and it breaks my heart, and it feels really heavy. It feels really heavy. And we talk about that because he's like, yeah, like, welcome to my world. This is where I'm all the time. And I'm like, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. When I'm in that for so long, I'm just like take me back to the prayer room, like take me back to my house. Just, I want to be with the Lord. But I was telling Norby, I'm like, it doesn't mean that the people at church are not broken, because I've led at church. I've been a leader for so many years, almost 10 years. I'm like, we're all broken. You realize, oh, you're a leader, and everyone looks at you up here because you have gifts, and we see you pray and we see you preach. But you also have fears. You also have worries. You also have debts, and you're also broken, except that the only difference is that you're broken. You need God. You need a savior. That's the difference that I've shared with him. I'm like, at church, we know we're broken. And we come, and I call my other broken friend, and I'm like, yo, I need you to pray for me right now because I can't handle this. Or vice versa. They call me and they're like, I need you to pray for me in my marriage right now. And we do that, right? I'm like, whereas in the real world, I think because people don't know God.
People don't talk about it.
We don't know God. We don't know God as Savior, guys. And I really just want to say this, because if you knew God as Savior, as friend, as brother, as father, as provider, like all the names of God, you would come to him. But we mainly know God as, I don't want that, because if I go to that, then I can no longer lie in my sin and do the thing that I want to do, but God brings so much freedom. And I think this is where he's like, hold on, because I'm like, no, baby, but God can bring people freedom. And he's like, hold up. Like, these people don't know God how you know God, maybe.
For sure.
And that's why it gets hefty for me, because like people's ego and like all of that, I'm like, like, you are just a human being with money. Like, we're the same. We bleed the same. We're going to die the same. And when we die, we're both going to have an eternity, like we are the same people.
most people in those rooms, like I've had conversations in a lot of rooms that I've been in, people in the industry, on the music side or whatever. I've had conversations and people talk multiple times where people talk about God, and I hear things. I've been with people who pray before every meal. Been with people who are always saying, God willing, you know what I'm saying? Or people that say, yeah, I'm gonna pray about that, or praying that this goes good. And there's a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. But it's, I don't know, when you go to church, it's like you're not, when you see them do that and then in the same breath cussing, or in the same breath smoking, or in the same breath drinking, or in the same breath promoting another thing that's, sinful or whatever, like, it sends a mixed message, or it makes me feel like, oh, you just say that. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What sends a mixed message?
That belief in God doesn't carry as much weight, I feel. Or it sends a mixed message to anybody who's not standing on a strong foundation. Like, it sends a mixed message because it's like, oh, you can believe in God and I can smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, I can believe in God and cuss and smoke and drink. Right. It's all good, man. And I'm gonna go to the club and I'm gonna turn up. And I believe in God though. It's all good. I could take shrooms and I believe in God. It's cool. Like, that's the mixed message I'm talking about. But then when I step into the church environment,
the culture of the church,
it's very different.
Right.
It's, obviously, again, you look at that stuff very sideways. You're not supposed to be doing that stuff. So it's pretty crazy. I walk on both sides. I'm in rooms where this is the normal, and then, God is the normal, and you around people that are all Christians, and then you got people who either don't believe in God at all, or think, or say they believe in God but live a different life. And I've been on both sides of the room. I've certainly walked on both sides as well.
But I think that because I will vouch for my church. I'm kidding. For my culture. No.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't think that it's necessarily looked at sideways. It's just like, when you know God, and I have this conversation with you all the time, when you know God for who God is and you surrender it, God brings freedom and God brings healing. And so at some point we have to make the choice.
Of course.
It's like everything in life.
Of course.
If I'm an alcoholic and God frees me from that, then next time I need to make the choice to not surround myself in that, because I can fall, because it's what I came out of.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that we don't necessarily look at it sideways, because the church is broken. The church is made up of broken people. And if one thing I love about my church is that we have inner healing. We have all these classes where you have every type of person who has come out of pornography, has come out of drug addiction, alcoholism, fornication, adultery, all of these things. And it's beautiful. It's the testimony of what God has done in our life. So I think, at least for me, I wonder, like, dang, like, do you know God to who God is? And I think that in the Western culture, we have watered God down so much. And I was telling him about, there's this girl that I really love. Her name is Millicent. I don't know her last name, but she's married to an Egyptian guy. And they were talking about that. He migrated, I believe, to Australia when he was little. Because if you're a Christian in Egypt, he's saying, like, you will get killed if you're speaking up. If you're speaking up, this will happen. You will have a consequence. He's like, but in Australia, you don't get killed for speaking about God. Neither do you get killed in America for speaking about God. But we're not doing it because we're afraid. We're afraid of cancel culture, and we're afraid of hurting people's feelings. But I never want to be a person who pets the sin, because that's not who God is, And I think that love brings freedom, and love brings discipline, and love brings truth. Like I would never want a loving friend to see me in my pain and never call me out of it or call me higher. And I haven't had, or all my friends who have called me higher, like, have remained in my life. And those are my friends that when I'm going through it and I feel like I can't keep going, those are the friends that I call to pray over me, because they can speak that word over me. And I think that we need that, and also I think that we need to drop like the religion mindset that the Pharisees had of, oh, this person is smoking and they're doing this. And then you are like freaking out because you don't know how to behave in that environment. It's like, okay.
You know what else happens though that I'm realizing is sometimes it's flipped, where it's not the Christians judging the person who's walking in their sin, but it might be the person who's walking in their sin who just feels guilty or condemnation when you step into the church. Right. Say you feel that everybody's looking at you sideways, or you feel that you're being judged, but it's not really, it's all up here. You know what I'm saying? And it's because you know the decisions that you're making, and you feel that, and then the perception is created that everybody in here is better than you. And then that's also where some animosity grows when you see certain people fail within the church, and you're like, like what you did, that that wasn't nice, or that wasn't considerate, or you just put that person down, or
because there's a high expectation,
and you expect more from that person because they're supposed to be all holy and Christian and perfect. But it's like, nah, man, everybody's a human, so we all need God. You gotta remove that perception and expectation out of your head as well, because people will fail you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I heard Lecrae say it best, and I'm like, this is the best analogy, where he's like, people leave church because they're church hurt, right? Yeah. He's like, so but often. If I went to a Chipotle and they got my order wrong, I'm not gonna be like, I hate Chipotle, I'm never going back to Chipotle again. He's like, no, I would go to a different Chipotle, and I would be like, I'm just not going back to that Chipotle because they messed up my order. So I would go to a different Chipotle. He's like, and so it is with the church. Like, and I think that we confuse, or we get angry at God for the mistakes of people. But God is not people. And people are not God. No matter what a great mentor you have, no matter what a great leader you have, they are human beings, and they have struggles, and they have temptation, and they have sin. We are all going to struggle with sin every single day. So we can't put our expectations on our leaders and our mentors to lead us out of life, because that is God's job. And so often, though that's an idol, we make idols out of these things, out of our marriage, right? I can't put my expectation on my husband where God needs to be. And we do that a lot in church. And I want to go back to that part that you mentioned, that people don't want to come into church because they feel judged. And that is so real. Like, that is a true feeling and a true validation. Or you feel like, I need to look a certain way. I remember I had my friend, and he was like, I need to buy a tux. I invited him to church. I'm like, for what? He's like, because I can't go to church like this. And I'm like, dude, nobody in my church goes in a tuxedo, so you're actually going to look silly. No one does that. Just come. Like, literally just come as you are. God does the rest. We just come into the altar, and God does the rest, guys. That is the beauty of Jesus and Holy Spirit. And then another thing I want to say with that, it's that every time you're feeling shame in your mind of, I can't step foot into church because of my mess, because of my sin, because of my situation, because of the way that I speak, because of my addiction, because of whatever reason, I just want you to know that that is a lie of the enemy. And that is exactly why that thought is in your brain, because the enemy's job is to kill, steal, and destroy. And I say this to him all the time. He's always going to want to ruin who you are. Oh, you want to go to church? No, you can't, because you're full of sin and you're full of shame. No. God calls us. He calls the broken.
That's exactly like, so all of you who are like, this is how I feel, amazing. You are coming to the right place. Only sick people go to the doctor, not healed people. So the brokenness, bring your chaos. Like, we want it. We want it at our church. And shout out all my friends at church. We're going to have tons of newcomers. But we want it. You know, that's who God is, and that's who the Lord embraces. He literally leaves the 99 for the one. And so I pray that whoever this reaches, that you would know you're not too broken for God. You are not too broken for God. I love Jesus. I do.
All right. Well, amen to that. One thing I want to say is the direction that we're taking this podcast in, just so you guys know, I mean, we're getting close to wrapping up the year. And for those of you guys who have been watching this year, you know, we started this back in 2024. Last year.
We did?
And we did a couple episodes.
I think we did like 3 or 2.
Yeah. We did a few episodes, and we did a couple vlogs in there. And now this year has been the year that we've been the most consistent. Mm-hmm. And we've lost that consistency as much as we didn't want to. We lost it. Busy seasons, hard seasons. This year has been a lot. Maybe we do an episode after this where we talk about what this year has been and kind of a recap of everything. Because this was kind of a big year, but it was also a hard year. And I think it's been a hard year for a lot of people.
Financially, you mean?
For sure, financially. But then a lot of good things came out of this year as well. Like your residency and just so many things. So I think we should do a recap episode. But also, just so you guys know, I mean, we've got plans of integrating guests into the podcast. That way we can bring you guys more conversations, more information, more stories, and more value beyond just what we have to provide. And also, it's just, we'll be learning from other people, we'll be talking with other people, and bringing a variety of different people onto the show. So we got a good list of people that we're going to be inviting on, and we'll see. I mean, we want to come out the gate swinging top of January, top of 2026 with some guests. We have yet to film an episode, but we need to get on that ASAP because we're in December now. So
that made me nauseous.
Really?
Yeah. Just the fear of the unknown.
I feel like it's exciting.
It's
exciting.
I'm
excited to have those conversations, but it's like this year has been all practice and getting used to this podcast situation, and us trying to make sure that it's, you know, giving some value to the people. But I think that's going to happen even more so when we have these conversations with guests, because
so we okay, I just want to say thank you, because it's always for me such a joy to see the beautiful comments, the encouragement, and the support of the people around us. You know, there's a saying, like, when you start, it's all just family and friends, and I just really want to say thank you to our family and friends. I know I've had a little bit of, like, I would say strangers, people I don't know, follow me, but it's usually off of his page or, you know, other things. But I'm just mostly grateful, right? And also grateful for the people who have such a huge following, who are extremely successful in what they're doing, and they show us love. You know, it's never seen on the platform, but it's personal, and they like encourage my husband all the time, and they're even like, yo, we want to come on your podcast, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, so and so, what? That's such a beautiful gift. And I think that for me, that's my gift, because I'm like, wow, it just makes me feel really loved. It makes me feel loved. And I think that, I'm just really grateful for that.
I'm glad she's been able to see it now, because I've been telling her over the last several months, like, hey, this person hit me up and said, yo, I love what you're doing. Love this podcast. Love the content that you're putting out. And it's like every time I run into people out in the wild, whenever I'm out doing an event or something, or I'm just outside, people say what's up. People I haven't seen in a while. People I'm meeting for the first time. And they always not always, not everybody, but the most consistent thing this year that people say is, yo, I love the content that you're doing with your family. Yo, I love the content that you're doing with your girl. I love the podcast. Whether they watch the full podcast or not, I know they've more than likely just seen shorts. But I've gotten that multiple times from people. Like, yo, I love what you're doing. And yeah, man, I think there's I think that what we're doing has a lane, and I think it's needed. You know,
for sure.
So
yeah,
we're
So we do want to ask, or I do want to ask, if you have any suggestions of things you want us to talk about, please drop them in the comments, guys. Because we always wonder, like, oh my gosh, what should we talk about? Do we want to do homeschool? Do we want to do marriage stuff? Do we want to do business stuff? What do we want? Do we want to ask about the word even? Like,
I'm like, I want to interview people on here that can bring some business game, some entrepreneurship game. Because I know that there's a lot of parents who may have that in the back of their mind, or who are already on their path. There's a lot of people our age, whether you're a parent or not, really. And I want to be able to, first off, that's something that intrigues me, but I think we want to bring that value to you guys.
For sure. And we have people in mind, like my girlfriends who have a business, and our moms. I see you, boo.
We got a couple out
I
there,
see you, and I want you right here with me. But I tell them all the time, I am looking at these women who are thriving, who I have a friend who she's a whole entrepreneur. She makes incredible skincare, and she's a mom, and she homeschools. And I'm like, how do you do that? So it's those type of women that I'm like very inspired by, you know, just so many. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we should bring those women in, because at the same time, their moms, their wives, or even men, you know, their husbands, their fathers. And again, it just reminds us we're all human, and we all have struggles. And of course, it's not our job to post all of our struggles on social media. But then when people just see your highlight, they think, oh, I wish I had that. But it's like all the hard work and the discipline that has come with that.
For sure.
That's super exciting.
For sure.
So yeah, we're going to have some guests, and I'm stoked for it. So
yeah, it's going to be.
If you guys have any, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
If you guys have any thoughts, comments, concerns, ideas, we totally want to hop on that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to give a little hint of like things that we have thought about?
Like what?
Episodes. Like why fathers matter. Yeah. Like topics.
Yeah, I was telling Cookie earlier, I'm like, first off, there's so many things that we want to do beyond even just the podcast. Like we've spoke about doing. We want to do shows like where we pull up on people and interview them and get a look into their world. Some of the same people that would be integrated into our podcast. There's so many things that we want to do.
Don't say that. People are going to steal our idea.
We're not giving the whole concept, but we want to do that.
We cooking in the kitchen out here. Not just sourdough. We cooking.
Yeah, she's been making her sourdough. She's been making her elderberry. We're about to go crazy, like even with the homeschooling content.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean on the podcast, like I said, we have a list of people that we want to get on here, and I think it'll be a good mix of people, and they're a little all over the place, but they're all valuable. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And some people, and we're still trying to figure out exactly who you guys are, right? Who is our audience? Who's actually listening to this? And one thing I was telling her earlier is like, I want to make sure that our conversations don't just cater to like women or the women perspective. Like I want the guys to be able to watch this and be like, okay, that was good. That was some game that I learned from that. You know, I don't want it to be everything's all soft and too, you know what I'm saying? So emotions and
I don't
feelings.
Think that it is.
And it's like, because guys don't, you know what I'm saying? We just, we think different. And it's like, as much as everything that we're saying is reality and true, it's just like a guy will think differently than a girl.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man, we're, you know, we got a lot in the works. So
what do men like? what do men want to listen to? We were having this conversation because he said something like, I don't think people go on YouTube and are searching word for word. And I'm like, well, actually, I as a woman can confirm that I do. I will literally go on YouTube and be like, how to handle stress, I don't know, as a stay-at-home mom or something like that, you know? And we were laughing. He's like, well, me as a man, I've never done that. And I'm like, you see, we're very different.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know, okay, what do women want to hear? What do men want to hear? Even in marriage, what do we want to listen to? In parenting, what do we want to listen to? Again, in the word, like, what do we want to learn? And again, we don't have it all figured out, but we can put our little granito de arena to help in maybe things that we have learned. I bet you this is not even going to ever get out.
Oh my gosh.
I bet you anything. If this gets out, I owe all of you.
We're publishing this.
All
right, look. All right,
Guys,
well, today's episode has been a little all over the place. Again, we walked in without a plan, so we didn't have a format, but we're here, and we wanted to make sure we got an audience, but we wanted to make sure to get on here, guys, and share a little bit with you, but we certainly have plans in the works, and you guys will be seeing all of that stuff come into fruition soon.
In Jesus' name.
But anyways, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We're going to keep this one nice and short. And was that short or was that long?
I don't think that was short.
All right, we're going to cut this one right here. We don't need to keep you guys any longer. Thank you for listening. And if you haven't yet, go watch our latest vlog. We just put a vlog out last week, and we're going to be putting another vlog out next week. So we're going to keep this content going. If you haven't surfed through the channel, go surf through the channel. We have plenty of stuff that's family related, that's marriage related, and obviously the podcast with plenty of conversations, that's all encompassing. So thank you guys again for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for everybody who's been subscribing.
Share, please.
We're seeing all that go up little by little. So
listen, if you have a blue check mark and you love us and you believe in us, share.
Don't just tell us in person.
Don't just rock
Comment.
with me online too.
Share.
You know what I mean? That's it. Thank you, boo. I
we
love
appreciate you guys, man.
I see your repost. You know who you are. Thank you. You're probably why we got 200 likes in our last reel.
Much love, y'all.
Love you guys. Bye.
You guys. See you later.